Hello, hello, Josie here. Are you ready for the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth? And are you sure? Okay, here we go. Do not share with anybody, even your own family, what you do for a living, where you work, what you do for a living, how you make your money. Do not share with them what you do. Just don't. No one should know what it is that you do for a living except your significant other, your partner, your spouse, and the people that you work with. Nobody else needs to know what you do. Unless you are in a position of high stature, meaning you're an owner, CEO, you're in corporate level, there's really nothing that they can do really to come in and sneak attack you, or bother you or harass you. You're working for a company like that, where there's so many different channels that getting to you is going to be difficult. Do not share what you do for a living with anybody. Let me share with you what can happen when you do so. These people can come into your job. They can also send other people that they know into your job, into your career, to fuck with you, to cause you issues, problems, disturbances. These same individuals can contact your company and give false reports about you, lies about you, to try to get you fired. They will set up a scene or street theater within your business to try to bring you chaos, disorder, stress, aggravation, and anxiety. Ask me how I know. You share with your neighbor what it is that you do. If that bitch doesn't like you, she's going to try to fuck with you on your job. Same thing with her husband, same thing with her kids. And you could be the nicest, sweetest neighbor, most gracious, generous neighbor. If that bitch doesn't like you, she will try to find some way to snake you. If there's anybody that you're dating, meaning y'all are just dating, they're courting you, you're just going out having a good time, getting to know each other, do not tell them what you do or where you work. Even if you tell them what you do specifically, they could be able to locate you or find you. Ask me how I know. And then if something goes wrong in the relationship, or it doesn't work out, or they felt like you didn't give them a chance or whatnot because you saw some fucked up, fraudulent behavior from them and you didn't want anything to do with it, so you cut them off, they will then try to find some way to fuck up your life and what you have going on. Ask me how I know. So do not share with anybody what it is that you have going on. Also, if you're making any changes in your life as far as where you live, or how how you're moving, do not let people know how you're moving. Do not let people know how much money you have, how you're moving, what's going on as far as like personal stuff, because they will use that information against you. Ask me how I know. See, it's those of us, like, there are a lot of us out there, we have a kind spirit, a loving spirit. We think that other people out there in the world are like us, but a lot of them are not. If they have any kind of toxicity to them, and they see you and you look like you have everything together and you're happy and so on and so forth, they will mess with you in your life so that you can feel the way that they do. And a lot of these people, they might be smiling in your face, but behind your back, they're trying to stab you. And they're trying to take your place, or they're trying to fuck up what you got. Ask me how I know. You can't trust everybody around you. Even if you've lived next to people for a decade, 2 decades, you still can't trust those people. Ask me how I know. You could be the nicest, sweetest individual, but if somebody out next to you or somebody around you is not that way, and they hate you because you are that way, they will try to do anything that they can to fuck you over, including your family. Ask me how I know. Not everybody is going to want you to be successful and or be happy for your success. especially if they do not feel successful or they are not happy in what they have going on in their lives. And here's the fucked up part about this. We didn't make the decision or the choice for them to do whatever it is that they do or whatever they did that got them in the position that they're currently in today. We didn't make that choice for them. They did. So they're basically, if you want to get down to the nitty-gritty of it, they're basically angry at us because we made better decisions and choices than they did. And who's to say that we made all the right choices and decisions? They don't know our lives in depth. They're on the outside looking in, but what they're seeing from the outside looking in looks better than what they have going on. But here's the thing, we have a different attitude about it. They don't have a good attitude about it. We have a good attitude about it. We're trying to remain positive and stay positive even in the midst of going through struggles and trials. And they're coming in trying to fuck up what we got. Ask me how I know. Do not share what it is that you do for a living, where it is that you work, how it is that you get your money, even your hobbies. If you're starting a business, do not tell anybody. Don't. Because they'll try to destroy that. They'll try to stop you from doing it. Ask me how I know. Lil Wayne said, real G's move in silence like lasagna. You got to be quiet. You can't share with everybody what you got going on, especially in certain settings too. You could be sharing something in a family setting, and then behind your back, your family members are setting you up, trying to take you out. Take out what you got going on because they don't have that going on, or they didn't do it as good as you. They're not doing it as good as you did, as you're doing it, so they don't want you to be successful. Ask me how I know. Ask me how I know. I'm not sharing this with you because I have not experienced it. Quite the contrary. I have experienced it on many different levels. Even within my own career, at the company I worked for. So you got to watch your back. You already got to watch your back when you're working within a company. You got to watch your back. You got to be on top of your game, right? But then you share with other people around you, same thing. You got to be concerned about that. You share with family, same thing. You got to be concerned about that. Just best to just be quiet. Don't share anything. Don't tell people what you have going on. Because if you have more going on than the next person has going on and you're sharing that with them, who's to say they're not going to try to snake you? Unless that man that you're dating or that female that you're dating is going to start paying your damn bills and making sure that you're good, you don't need to share with them what you do. Because if that's the case, you're going to stop doing what it is that you're doing since they're going to be taking care of all your necessities, right? So until you get a ring on that finger, or you get a firm and strong commitment, i.e. ring on that finger, you don't need to share with them what you do. That could be the death of your career, the death of what it is that brings you joy or pleasure. A lot of people's jobs or careers, not everybody, but a lot of them, they actually like what they do. So imagine if someone that didn't like those people came into that career, came in to what it is that they do and turned shit upside down and wrecked everything for them because of their jealousy. That could be pretty devastating, right? Ask me how I know. All because someone had some kind of insecurity as well as hatred towards you. But, they were wearing a mask. And they thought you didn't see what they were capable of. And a lot of it you didn't know they were capable of. Or you didn't think they would do that. But yeah, let alone they did. Huh. Or they used other people to do it. Yeah, they did it. But there is silver lining. There is an amazing feeling that's hopefully going to come over you here shortly after I share this with you. If you are out here in this world and you're sharing things with other people, not to be braggadocious or boastful, not to throw in other people's face, but rather to share what it is that you do. So that way, people know and you might be able to offer something to them. And I'll give you an example shortly of what I did, and that was thrown back in my face for no reason other than hate and insecurity and jealousy. But when you do things the right way and you're not, it's all about your intentions. If you do things the right way, listen to this. If you do things the right way, if you have a good heart, a kind heart, if you're sharing with people because you're needing or you're wanting to get information and or you are looking for, basically an exchange, a good exchange of energy, an understanding about who it is that you live next to, or maybe, a lot of the times we share these things because we know that we're all inquisitive. We're all wanting to know, instead of speculating and assuming, wouldn't it be nice to know, oh, okay, they do this, or they're in management, or this person is the CEO of a company, or this person has a business of their own and they make this. I might be able to suggest this, or I could possibly do business with that company that they work for. That's going to benefit them, that's going to better them, that's going to secure their job and or help their business out. Why not? But see, nowadays you can't share a lot of things with other people because their intentions are to spite you and to mess up what you have going on because they themselves don't have that going on. They're not successful, or they're not a manager, or they're working a job that they hate, and they're pissed off that someone next to them is working at a career that they love and that they're excited about and that they excel at. So, new neighbors that moved in. This was probably about 4 or 5 years ago, something like that. It's pre-COVID. Yeah, pre-COVID. But I had given them, their children, kits, like craft kits, so that they'd have something to do during, the lockdown, because a lot of people were not going to school, not going to work, they were staying at home, and that would help them to, their kids have something to do. Well, she sent her mother, she sent her mother to return these kits to the store. This kit had actually been discontinued from the company, so it was basically on clearance. But I paid for them out of my pocket, and they were still, a fair amount of coin. And I did not have to do that, but I paid for these out of pocket. She had her mother come back in, and it was just like weeks later, like actually a couple months later. The kits had been opened. All of the pieces and parts within the kit, the bags had been opened. They had been used. They had been, everything had been used, right? And came back in, and she did not. It was on clearance. It was already on clearance, right? So there's no returns on it. And I didn't give them a receipt because there was no returns on it. She actually came in looking for a refund, and then had the audacity to tell me that the kids didn't like the kits and didn't work and yada yada yada, and she wanted a refund, and she did not have a receipt, and her name was not even in the system, so I could not even look up the receipt. And I knew who she was when she came in with the kits, even though it was not the mother of the children, it was the grandmother. She had her mother come in to basically cause a scene to try to get a refund on kits that I had basically given to them for their kids to use during COVID. That was something that I did that was generous. I was not looking for anything in return. I did out of the kindness of my own heart. I already knew what it would be like to basically have kids in the house with nothing really to do, not going anywhere. That could be something that would turn them on to the art. And I had good intentions. And that's how she responded to that, because she was pissed that I did that for her, but then also she had some jealousy and insecurities, and she was taking that out on me. Okay? Do you think that that was where she stopped in trying to attack me and or trying to cause me some kind of issue or problem in my career? He believed that same person continuously tried to do things by sending other people into my career to harass and stalk me, along with telling lies about me in the community. Some people in this world are toxic. They're toxic, and you do not know that they're toxic until it's too late. Until they've gone to such extremes and all of their actions come to light, either by God alerting you to these things, through intuition, as well as their projections. I mean, you have to be careful with what you share with other people, because you don't know if they have good intentions, and even if they're smiling in your face and they're speaking and being nice and so on and so forth, you still don't know. That could be a mask. And sadly now, today, in this world that we live in, this is not like the 80s, it's not even like the 90s. You can't really be nice to people that live around you. And even in this neighborhood that I live in, I have actually sat in my vehicle and have actually kind of been the neighborhood watch, the block watch, and watching and seeing how people interact with each other. Do people actually wave and say hello and greet each other? Not necessarily in my area, but in other areas, yeah, they do. I'll share this with you before I end this video. I used to enjoy playing the keyboard in my music room, and I would actually lift up the window, let cool air in, and just kind of enjoy the weather. It was not about showing off. It was about me playing and enjoying my space and enjoying the weather and doing my thing. Would you actually believe that there were neighbors that were projecting negative energy towards me because I was playing and I knew how to play and I was talented, and they hated that they didn't have that talent, that they didn't have that skill, and so they were projecting negative energy towards me, wanting me to basically lose and or to stop playing? Do you know that I really have not played keyboard in months? And I'm aware of who was actually sending those negative projections and negative energy towards me. I know exactly who they are. They might say, now Josie, why don't you leave? Why don't you move from that area? Huh? If God is for me, then who dare be against me? So if these people want to send attacks and do these things against me, I know God will make things better. I know God will rectify the situation, and I believe He's doing that right now. And that's why I decided to share this video with you. That's why I decided to make this video and to share it with you, to let you know that I've been through this. And you may not think, if you're currently going through this, that you'll be able to get through it, but I believe that I'm coming out on the other end of all of this BS that's been going on since these people have moved in across the street. And I do believe that anybody else that is attached to whatever it is that they've been doing, anybody else that is attached is also dealing with the consequences of doing so. You cannot, you should not go against another person that has done nothing to you, especially when you do not know who they belong to. If you're a child of God, God has you covered. And anything that anybody is sending towards you, God will deal with them in His time. All things happen in God's perfect timing. So justice and judgment all happen in God's perfect timing. It is men that rush to jump, to judge, to get justice, to seek revenge on other people, and they're doing it the wrong way instead of letting God do it His way. And yes, we may suffer, we may have some setbacks, we may lose the desire to do certain things, we may lose energy. I am someone that lost energy dealing with these energy vampires, dealing with the projections, dealing with the hate, dealing with whatever they sent my way. I have been dealing with a lot of things from these people that have done this against me, and I'm coming out the other end of it. And it's been a long time coming. A lot of these people started doing these things prior to my spouse and partner passing away. So do you not believe in or think that they're going to be judged for anything that they put me through while I was taking care of my spouse and partner in his last days? That was a lot. So imagine all of that coming back to them. Imagine all that hate, all the negative projection, all the evil eye, all the spiritual all the spiritual wars, and all the spiritual hate, and all the spiritual, curses and whatnot that were thrown at me by these people. Imagine all that coming back, going right back to the sender. It all is going to be returned to whoever sent it out. And it's going to be compounded. So yeah, we may have lost some things, but trust and believe we'll get them back. Plus, it will be multiplied, what we get back. Just like what they sent out to us negatively is going back, compounded. So, I'm going to leave it at that.